Yeah. No. You wish. Huh? mm. Jimmy, how you doing, man? How you doing this evening? Huh. Quiet storm. Was it Tony Brown? Oh man, how's everybody? Let's see, who else do we have here this evening? Jimmy says, "Oh, good. Yes. Look, I'm restricted tonight. So, cold, as cold can be for a moment. It won't be cold for very long. In a warm place. How's everybody doing this evening?" Yeah, Bumpy, what's up with you, man? How you doing this evening? Oh man, I need to get some more light. This light is it's a very warm light. So when I took a picture out here a few moments ago, the picture made it look much brighter. Actually, let's see if there's. No. Look, I got it. I can. There are some filters. Well, no. I might be able to make myself look brighter. Let me see. No to that one. Oh, what's going on, man? Whoa, definitely not that one. This is not helping. This is just red. That's a little better. All right. So what's up, Bumpy? What's going on? If you feel free to text me. I know how. Hopefully you guys can see me a little better. Oh man. Let's see, who else do we have on the live stream? I think the light behind me is throwing things off a little bit. I'm trying to decide if I should change the orientation of how I'm sitting, but there's more light that way behind me and more light that way behind me. So this is like the lesser of the light evils. Blind Man Cooking, what's going on? How you doing this evening, Dave? Where? I'm in Florida. Florida for a quick couple days, and then we're going on a cruise. So, Travis, John, I didn't reach out to either one of them because I was only going to be here for a quick second, and then I was going to be gone again. I'm sitting poolside right now, and taste tester number 3 and my wife are in the pool. They're trying to be quiet, but they're splashing around behind me and making funny noises. They're fish. They're acting like fish. So if you hear splashing and giggling, you know what it is. Just us nieces. Oh man. So who else do we have on the live, man? Let's see. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Oh. Bruh. Whoa. I feel like I'm gonna have to get you a jar. Dang, man. You know, sometimes when it's when it's rough like that, all you can do is keep on keeping on, man. Oh my gosh, sorry to hear that though. Sorry for your loss, Bumpy. Jeremy says, yo, oh, glad to see you here living your best life. I'm living. I don't know about my best life now, but I'm living. Everything is, everything is everything. Chachi, he says, they're behind us and in front of us. You get it. You got it right. What's going on, man? EDM. E. No. E. Electronic dance music. EDM. Yes, I am sitting poolside. Mark says, good evening, all. Sorry I missed last week. You don't have to apologize for not being here. I mean, I didn't hear you. Mark said he wanted to apologize for missing last week's live stream. I told him he didn't have to do that. Chachi says, hey, yo, how's everyone? Huh. Positive energy. Positive energy. Positive energy. Definitely. Yes, indeed. You know, my grandfather, who was a Methodist preacher, he's famously used to say, God doesn't close the door without opening the window. So there's always an escape, more or less. But salute, man. So how's everybody doing, man? I'm out of town, so a little out of sorts. Everything I say, they have to sing about it. Everything I say, they're singing about it. I got the peanut choir. And forget the peanut gallery. I got a peanut choir. The peanut songstresses back there. Everything I say, they have to, chortle about. Oh, the backup singers. All right. Bumpy, my famous prayers to you and yours. Yes, indeed. So let's see, where is everybody? Angela's not here. Quentin's not here. Who's some of the other usual suspects? Jimmy's here. Jimmy, what are you consuming? What are you taking care of this evening? Chachi, what about you? What are you drinking? Victor, where's Victor? Victor's gonna hit me up. Where's Marcus? Chachi, what you drinking, sir? Bourbon night. All right. What kind of bourbon you drinking? I still have to try to learn how to bourbon. Terry, what up, Terry? He says hello, hey yo, Dash and Jimmy. Yeah. My wife and Taste Hustle number 3 say hi, Terry. They are singing in the background tonight for some strange reason. Steven, he says, hey yo, Dash and Peeps, good evening. Someone said usual suspects. Yes, you are definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. And I appreciate you for being here. Definitely do. I completely understand and appreciate when you take your time to spend a couple moments with me and us in here. So Bumpy Talk was talking about last week's topic. He said, I did listen to last week live. Didn't get a chance to comment. I have been writing checks that my cookers have been cashing, but it wasn't easy, that's for sure. Woodford Reserve. All right, Jimmy, that's pretty decent. I am still no bourbon connoisseur, but I saw on Instagram today that someone was at a Costco and they were able to get a 10-year aged bottle of Pappy. When I was there a year or two ago, I think it was a 12-year aged bottle. So it was not quiet. Did y'all hear the splash on the stream? Did y'all hear the splash? But I have a 12-year bottle of Pappy. Look, there's Victor. I talked him up. Okay, I had a good beer. Wagner, Widmer Brothers, Hefeweizen. Oh, cool and refreshing. All right. That's what's up. Mm-hmm. Well, Victor, I'll drink to that. Hopefully you're doing well, Victor. Chacha said, I thought they were trying to be quiet and then someone going to jump in. I think that's the opposite. You hear that?
What?
I thought they were going to be quiet and then someone going to jump in. I think that's the opposite.
Who said we were going to be quiet? Yeah, I didn't say that. Nobody said that. No one said that. You said that. Did you make false promises?
I didn't make a false promise. I was hoping y'all would be quiet. How about that?
Aww.
Well, you don't have to be quiet. I mean, it's par for the course. I'm sitting by a pool. I kind of should expect you guys to be splashing around. Just no horseplay, no running. What'd you say?
I said you want to run.
No. Victor says howdy to everyone.
Hi.
Oh, goodness. So, Victor, you missed it. I mean, let me bring you into the fold here. So, you going to wave? Taste lesson number 3 and my wife. Good. I'm sitting poolside right now. Let's see. Mark says, and he says, yes, I heard the splash. LOL. Family, quiet. LOL. Bumpy says, everyone, I'm taking it early tonight. Enjoy your vacay, bro. Well deserved. I got 3 events to cater for this weekend, and I'm shutting it down until September. Man. September sounds so far away, but it's only like 3 weeks. Definitely, Bumpy. Take great care, yo. If you need me to handle anything for you, just like I sent somebody your way, and unfortunately you weren't able to help them. If you get anything or anything pops up, and you want to let me know. Let me know if I can help you out and help whomever out. I will. Steven says, Bumpy, take care, bro. Yes, sir. All right. So let's talk about it. Thank you, sir. Let's talk about vacation eats. What do you guys do when you're on vacation? Do you look for like barbecue spots to try wherever you are, or do you just like disavow barbecue altogether and kind of do something that you can only get local? Dave says it's crazy to me to think that September is only a few weeks away. This year has gone by fast. Victor says make a point of explaining that the bug netting folks who haven't been to Florida don't understand. I didn't do anything. It was you. No, hold on 1 second, guys. It must have tripped the. No, it must be on the timer or something because they're off.
They're not on the timer. It's just plugged in.
Yeah, I just flipped the breaker on the thing. I mean, the switch on the thing, and it didn't do anything. That's those lights. What's that light? Yeah, they might be on a timer or something else. Baby, unless they died just now.
I'm just trying to follow through. When you cut that on and off, the wall goes on and off.
Well, those lights out there are off. Maybe it's unplugged. That one came back on.
That's what I said. When you cut it on and off, that goes on and off. So it's a different place that is a volume.
All right, well. All right. I have one light. I lost the string lights. Chachi says, so since you're on vacation, did I hear a late night stream? No. No. This guy hasn't eaten dinner tonight. And I am hungry. Mark's barbecue spots, brewery, unique shopping places, rest. I like that. I like that. The problem, well, I don't know. I say where I am, the barbecue that, I'm gonna say that we found, but the barbecue that was most popular was also least liked. It was a spot that had been featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives, and it really wasn't good. It really wasn't good. But it could have been worse, I guess. So.
The second place was fine.
Yeah, the second place was they. I won't say they claimed barbecue, but they just smoked a lot of things. But it was really just like, well, they did have some brisket and
Sausage.
they had brisket, sausage, pulled pork, chicken. I won't say the problem. You guys know I don't eat pork, so I have a problem when everything is like piled on top of each other, and that's my own, thing. But sometimes I just want a little bit of separation when it comes to mixed meats. I don't have a problem with my food touching, like if it's things that are non-pork, but if I don't eat something, I really don't want the something I do eat to touch the thing I don't. Does that make sense? Is it just me? It's not me. I'm gonna throw this bottle at you.
You asked the question?
All right, you just answered it. Peanut Gallery. Yeah, Jimmy says you're going on the cruise. You about to eat all you can handle. In a few days, I'm going on the cruise, Jimmy. I
It really does. That's not me. You're creating a world.
I have 2.5 days of, I need to get to the 2.5 days. I don't want to pass out on a live stream from being famished, Jimmy. Good thing I'm drinking beer. Beer's like eating bread. Dave said, absolutely, you gotta look for a decent barbecue spot in each state. However, I can sometimes be cynical. Sometimes? I know how that goes. And I know I can also be cynical. However, I can sometimes be cynical if I'm not using the right wording when comparing it to my own or other places I've been, for example. Nah, you don't have to, I'm gonna say you don't have to apologize for that, because everyone is. I bet, there you go. But then Dave followed up and said, I bet most of us do that, though. Seriously, I know I do it. So, I went to the place that everyone talks about down here, or that was featured on TV. So my wife looked it up a few times ago. We were down here. We went to go try it, and it was not good. So I was talking to someone about it because I'm always wearing a shirt that says barbecue one way or the other for the most part. And he said, "Well, have you ever tried that other place that?" He's like, "There's a new place. It's They got that big old truck outside with the thing on the back." I said, "Mission?" He said, "Yeah, Mission Barbecue." I said, "Actually, I'm familiar with Mission. Mission started around in the Baltimore area. and they have expanded, you know, kind of up and down the East Coast. I said, I'll give credit where credit is due. I said, I like Mission to an extent. Mission is kind of hit or miss for me. I've never been able to go in there like 2 times in a row and get something the same every single time. But I will say, again, I'll give credit where credit is due. I like the smoked turkey breast from Mission, and I probably like the smoked turkey breast from Mission because I don't smoke turkey breast every single day, which means that if I need to go get some turkey breast or I want to get turkey breast, smoked turkey breast, I could go into Mission and get it. That being said, the brisket is very hit or miss. I can go into one Mission and be like, hey, can I get some moist brisket? And they look at me like I have 2 heads. And I go on another Mission and they'll be like, oh, sure, moist brisket, how much do you want? Also, Mission barbecue is kind of expensive. And when I say kind of, it's really expensive. Jimmy says the liquid bread will keep you going. Yes, indeed. Victor says, no, you can't be passing out or falling asleep during the live. No, never. Jack, holy cow, what's up, Jack? Betty, hopefully you're doing well, Betty. Jack said, that's why I'm never disappointed in barbecue when I travel due to my taste. Yeah. It's funny, Jack says his barbecue tastes like Camel cigarettes, and his barbecue is the worst barbecue ever because it tastes like cigarettes. But Betty doesn't seem to think that's the case. Chachi says, where's Clinton? I don't know. I can't hit him up because I use my phone to do the live streams. So I don't know where he is. Go, little girl.
I was trying to get my iPad first.
What's that?
These are like the things we got from the.
Oh, sure. How are they?
They're good when you get used to them.
Oh, all right. When you get used to them.
Mommy didn't like them.
No. All right. Well.
I like them.
Okay. Come get your water bottle and drink some water, little girl. Oh, you have that one. I meant your. It's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, by the way, did you ever get that dollar? I need $1. That's what I need. Hey, I need $1. That's what I need. Hey. Oh man, that song is one of my favorite songs because of it was the title track for a TV show on HBO called How to Make It in America. And it was about these 2 friends who hustled and sold clothing. And it was a really good series, and it was canceled after 2 seasons. And fun fact, one of the stars of the show is Kid Cudi. And Kid Cudi and I share a government name. Our first name is both the same. You need to go into the bathroom over there?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to go over here.
No. What you do?
Yeah.
Oh, so. Okay.
Oh, dang it.
Lock. You want me to unlock it for you?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Perfect timing. I need to get another beer anyway. You want to say hi today?
Hi.
Oh, you can get it with camera.
No thanks.
Open. You just had to hit the handle bar. Alright, I'm back, y'all. Lots of moving parts. You know how this goes. It's never simple. Victor says, FYI, the wound is slowly filling in. The last few weeks are going to be critical though. Well, Victor, you make sure you take great care of yourself. Definitely need you to do that. Chachi, you keeping count? Goodness gracious. It's So listen, if you have not already hit that thumbs up, this is your friendly reminder to please do so at this time. I will hold it against you if you do not hit that thumbs up. And I do get a report of who watches the stream and doesn't give me thumbs up. So if you don't want to be on my list, then you should hit the thumbs up button. And if you didn't realize that that was fabricated and false, you really do need to hit that thumbs up button. But listen, thank you guys seriously for being here. Really, I didn't know what I was going to talk about tonight, but you know, vacation, always vacation eats. And it's, I won't say sometimes you go on vacation if you are in a place where you've been before, you kind of find things that you like and you can eat the same things because those are like vacation spots. But then again, sometimes you go places and you're like, I'm never going to be here again. I need to take advantage of the fact that I'm here and eat something that's only here so that I have something to look forward to or something I can compare something else to, somewhere else to. Victor says he might actually get to go fishing this summer, fall. I really need fresh salmon, yeah. Number 2, Chachi. Oh, Chachi, I thought of you. I saw, and I know you might not be a Cowboys fan, but I saw, I can't remember if it was Barstool Sports or Barstool Philly, but it was from the Cowgirls training camp, and Dak Prescott threw an interception. And it was like, oh, Dak's ready for the season. Dak's ready. He threw an interception. Jack says, for those of us that got here late, where, when, and what you doing there? So I'm in Florida at my mother-in-law's house. Taste lesson number 3 is going to be hanging out with my mother-in-law for a couple days. And my wife and I are going on a cruise. So originally, my wife and I, we didn't take any time off of work really, but so we drove down here, worked a couple days, and then we're getting on a cruise because we were trying to decide what we were going to do. We were going to either drive to Atlanta and hang out in Atlanta for a few days and do Atlanta because we've never done Atlanta. Excuse me. Or we were going to drive to New Orleans and hang out and do New Orleans. You know, both nice, touristy, foodie destinations. And then my wife got a bug up her butt and she said she started looking up cruises and she's like, nothing beats an all-inclusive cruise. Well, not really all-inclusive, but nothing beats a cruise. So I think we're going to go on a cruise. And I'm like, all right, well, how much is it? She told me what the price was. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Why are we playing games? Just go ahead and book the cruise. And so literally, I've, known I was going on a cruise for 2 weeks. That's like the shortest countdown to go to a cruise ever. I think one of the last times we went on a cruise, from Baltimore, I believe that was what we did. We had like a month, maybe a month and a half, like 45 days, 60 to 45 days, and that was more torturous than this 2 weeks has been, which is crazy to think about it. So, Chachi, I like, you in Texas and Texas. So, Chachi, what football? The Texans? They're in Houston. Who's in Houston right now? I'm trying to say, how dare you? Mark says, okay, Mr. Dash, enjoy vacay. 4 a.m. comes early for work. Good night, all. Yes, sir. Jack, how are things? How's Betty doing? The Texans. All right. Okay. I don't have anything witty or smart to say about the Texans. So, you know, I'll say funny. Marcus has a daughter. His daughter works for the Cowgirls, and I see her post stuff on Instagram, and I have to use restraint not to like send her not hate messages, but strongly worded dislike messages. So, Jack says, so instead of coming to Indiana to teach me how to run my Oklahoma Joe Smoker, you chose vacation. You know what, Jack? Why? These lights are crazy. The lights are about to, I feel like they're about to come back on, which means it's probably a plug over there. Hold on one second, guys. The plug must be loose. And that's why the lights are out. There's lights strung up around the outside of the pool, and Aziz, light. All right, I have the good light again, or the better light. Let's put it that way. Quinn says, "Where did you get those Austin Powers?" I spy his chairs from. You gotta ask my mother-in-law. I don't know. It's kind of funny. So she's been here for 2 years or so. Yeah, it's actually just been. Yeah, she been down here just about 2 years now, and you will have to ask her, or I will have to ask her where she got those chairs from. But when we got here this time, we were here last in like February, March, late February, early March, and those chairs were not there. So when we walked in through the front door, my wife and I both commented on the chairs. I'm like, holy cow, look at those chairs that we can't sit in, because they are white. They are. I mean, yeah. We're like, holy cow, look at those chairs. Jack says UFO lights. Quentin, what's going on, man? The Texans, well, sir. Well, still better than the Cowboys. Yeah. Agreed. Oh, good job, Victor. Listen, I say that all the time, and very few people get it, Victor. Yes. My wife, that is one of my wife's favorite movies, definitely. Tachi says, fun fact, though my wife was a Cowgirls cheerleader for 2 years, she's not a fan of them, but lived in the area, and they were the closest. I guess you're right. Shoot. Quentin, Chachi was missing you. He was crying out like, "Where's Quentin?" It's like, Dad's just gonna pick on me. Where's Quentin? Hatfield Barbecue Carnivore is about to get on timeout. Say something else bad about my birds. You feeling froggy? Oh, FAFO. Dave says, "Sup, Quentin?" Let me pull you in closer. So, I don't know, Dave, if you were here for this, but so my mother-in-law, actually, I could show you guys. Look at this. Come on. So my mother-in-law has these lights strung up around the perimeter of the lanai. Those of you guys who are uninformed, this is not just like a enclosed patio. It is called a lanai. Someone came up with a fancy French word for this enclosure. But she has lights strung up, and the lights, I won't say stopped working, but they went out. There is an extension cord, in the corner that came detached. Of course. Gravity, But those lights went out, and that's when I lost the light. So I had to call on Aziz to get me the light, and I was able to get the light. Oh, all right. Not those birds. Those aren't the birds we speak of, Victor. He says nothing wrong with birds. Go Seahawks. Not those birds. Quentin just came to say hello, drop a like, and ride off into the sunset. Got some work to finish up. Well, stop procrastinating and get it done, Quentin. Tell everybody I said hey. Sean Sparks this evening. Somebody said, "Roar. Go Lions. One pride." I am a fan of the Nittly knit. Why can't Jesus, it's been 2 beers, but I haven't had anything to eat. Nittly? Why can't I say it? Go Penn State. We are. Chachi says, "What the? Don't leave me." He sounds desperate. Yes, Sean, I love that. I root for Penn State. Big college in my home state. Yes, indeed. Go Lions. Why can't I say Nitney? Nitly? Nitty? No, it's like Nitly. Nitney. Why that word is escaping me, I have no idea. Somebody look it up and tell me how to say it. I have friends that have went to Penn State, and they probably would disown me for hearing me not be able to say it correctly. Nittany Lion? I think that's what it is. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that either. Seriously, I've had 2 beers, but I have not eaten anything in quite a few hours. Chachi said something about Guga. What? I don't understand that. Guga's jumping the shark. Robert James, he says, "What's up, Dash? Chilling, man. How you doing? Hopefully all is well." So what do you guys eat when you're on vacation? Are you like my family where we seek out something, I won't say interesting and new? No, Victor, I'm not even reading that. Jeez. How you try to say a word and then somebody says the word incorrect and you can't get that incorrect pronunciation out of your head? Nittany. Sure. That's what it is. Nittany. Lions. Yes. Yeah, Chachi, I'm a card carrying member in this state too. Don't you worry. Fun fact, I was a card carrying member in this state before I was in my home state. Well, in Maryland, not in my home state. Urban Culture Kitchen. Yes, Casey, I am on vacation. I'm at my mother-in-law's house currently. Then we are going on vacation. We're going on a cruise on Friday. So, yeah, man, fun times. We drove the EV down here. It actually was a really good trip. Usually, I stop more and charge. I don't say charge less, but I stop more and do more hops, skipping and jumping. But my wife was like, "Nah, let's just charge the car to like 100% and then go to the next thing." All right, if you want to sit in the car for 2.5 hours and drive, 150-ish miles from stop to stop, I'm down. So that's what we did this time. It still took us about the same amount of time, but I don't know if sometimes my wife doesn't realize that if we stopped and like we had some issues. I had some trouble. So one of my tires in my car was losing air, and I had to keep, I'm gonna say constantly, but I had to keep putting air in the tire. And I stopped probably 5 or 6 times to put air in the tire on my way down here. We were driving down here, and about halfway down here, I got a low pressure light. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me go ahead and get off when we charge. We got off the highway, charged the car, which was good that it happened. It happened either right before we were about to charge or right as I was on the way to the charger. And I'm like, all right, when we get to the, to our destination or whatever, I'll get some air. And I'm like, all right, so we do that. And then it was, so we had traveled like 350-ish miles. And then it happened again in like 200 miles. And then it happened again in 100 miles. And then it happened again in 50 miles. And then towards the end, it was like 30 miles and the drone was coming on. So I'm like, man, it was bad. I ended up getting a new tire because I have a roadside warranty or roadside hazard warranty or whatever it is on the vehicle. And the problem was I took the vehicle into the dealership, but it took 2 days for me to get my car back. So Dave says, so what are you looking forward to eating on this trip? So I'm gonna be on a cruise, man. I'm looking forward to eating everything, man. Like on the cruise. So we're actually getting on a different cruise line, and so we're on Friday. We're driving down to Miami. So I've never actually been that far south in driving my car in Florida. So my mother-in-law lives in Central Florida. So we're driving further south, and I'm looking forward to the drive down that way. 1, 2. When we get on the cruise, there's a plethora of different things to eat. So I'm looking forward to trying and just trying this whole new cruise line and seeing what they about, and seeing if, we want to cruise on that cruise line again. Charges and then make fun of you for the rest of your life with your. Then they will make. Oh yes, Chachi. He said then they will make fun of you for the rest of your life with the effed up one word. I mean, y'all try to make fun of me for saying water correctly. If you can't say it, don't get on about someone having fun at your expense. Oh yeah, he's definitely poking the bear. KC says we cruise 3 times a year. So Carnival or Royal Caribbean. All right, I've never done Royal Caribbean. This is not a Royal Caribbean cruise, and we normally do Carnival. So, yeah, and you saying CCL and RCL, either you are a shareholder or you just use the abbreviations. Which do you prefer, Carnival or Royal Caribbean? Casey says we love cruising, as do we. We just can't afford to do it as often as we would like to. But maybe just maybe, things will change. A change gonna come. Oh yes, it will. Now, if you get that one, use a real one. I'm waiting for some of you guys who are long in the tooth to chime in with who that is. Since Victor got my last pop culture reference. No one tell Laura. Yeah, so Casey, we enjoy cruising as well. I'm a card carrier in Texas, but you don't have to have one exactly. All right, Sean, I'll give you a little bit of recourse because you got that one. Yes, indeed, but oh no, because it is constitutional, but it's a constitutional concealed. Is that how it works? Jimmy says, yep, Sam Cooke. Have you heard of those folks who have retired and now live on cruise ships? Yes, Victor, I have. That is what, my wife just came out here to hang up her swimsuit and a towel, and as I said that, she's like, that's what I want to do.
Let's go do it for a year.
She says she just wants to do it for a year or so. Kent, what's up, man? He says, holy studio change. Yes, Batman. We're not in Gotham anymore. Robert says he loves Carnival. We do too. So we're trying out this new cruise line, and we're going to see what it's about. Bye. Good night. You going to eat something? Yes. All right. Yeah, I know Kent knows all about traveling and what does he eat when he's traveling. But then again, I feel like a lot of times it seems like Kent travels with his like Blackstone and other things like that where he's cooking. I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to cook. I like to cook when I get paid, you know what I mean? Johnny, how you doing, man? He says, hey. Robert says, been on 2 Carnival cruises. They are awesome. Yes, indeed. I love Carnival cruises. We have gotten gold status. I think it's gold status on Carnival. I'm trying to get to the next status jump. Chachi says, "Hey yo, so does anyone or do you guys say hey yo in your everyday life after being on the live stream and watching my channel?" Because I know I say hey yo a lot. I'd be like, hey yo, what are you doing? Hey yo, to my kids. When I am out and about, like, so last night I went to Wendy's, right? My wife was cold. My mother-in-law's house, it's beautiful. The air conditioning works so well down here. We are in Florida, and it is imperative you have air conditioning. So my mother-in-law's house was cold, and actually I think it was more so my wife was in the pool, and then she got out of the pool and was sitting on where I'm sitting, and the fans were on, and she was cold. So I'm like, all right, well, it's kind of late. Okay. Is that a cherry? I don't know what, she held something up. But, so my wife is cold, and I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to go to Wendy's. Wendy's is still open. I'm going to go to Wendy's, and I'm going to get you some chili, something to warm you up. So she had some chili the other day. And I was sitting there, and I don't like ice in my drinks because, you get more drink if you get no ice or light ice. And the girl was putting ice in, and I'm like, hey, yo, no ice. So I say hey, a lot. Ken says, no, we use others' cooking equipment. I cook at the campground. Yep. Dude, sometimes, you know what? I won't say sometimes, but it depends on where we go. Like when we go, usually when we've been to Myrtle Beach, because we have a full kitchen in Myrtle Beach. Oh, another thing. I don't like cooking here at my mother-in-law's house because I will never clean her kitchen to her standard. So, no, I don't cook here. I will cook on the grill, and that is about it. And that takes a little bit of, coercion to do. Josh says, nope, never. I'm on ways too studious to say something like that. I'm way too studious to say something like that. Oh, come on now, Johnny. Nah, you can say ayo. Come on. It's like when I was in the UK, the guy who was our cohort there, our coworker, local, he would say, oi! Oi! So it was funny when I heard he was in the U.S. and he was in our building. I went and beat feet to hunt him down. And when I went into the lab where he was, I'm like, oi! Get over here! Give me a hug! So he's like, yes! He's like, Scott! Yes! Yeah, it was a fun time. Jack says, when me and Betty travel, we try not to get food we don't know about. Nothing ruins a vacation when you're wearing a diaper. Yes. Um, yeah. Oh, gosh. Jack. Jack, you know what? I would expect something like that to come from Victor. Not from you, Jack. Not from you. Though I completely understand the sentiment. And, you know, look, I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret, right? My wife was on our honeymoon. We went to Dominican Republic. And something she had in that water. They warned us against the water. They said, don't drink the water, don't drink the water, don't drink the water. Well, I think it was before the times when, you know, you would use bottled water to brush your teeth. And she must have brushed her teeth and maybe swallowed a little bit of that water. But she was sick. She was sick for like half our honeymoon. And yeah, I'm going to say been there, done that, but definitely. Victor says, honestly, I don't recall ever saying, "Ayo." My catchphrase is howdy. Well, I mean, you know, it's all right, Victor. I get it. Jeremy says, just wondering if you really want to do these lives anymore, or do you just do them for like the 15 to 20 people? No offense, just really curious. Just seems like if you really want to do these lives anymore, or do you just do them for the 15 to 20 people that watch? I do, Jeremy. I actually like to do the live streams. I do have fun, and the live streams are, I'm gonna say, a way to give back. But they really are, in my eyes, in my opinion, a way to give back because they offer instant feedback to you guys who are watching. Because when I do a video, it's one directional. If you understand what I mean, I'm talking to you guys on a regular video, and I'm explaining to you guys something that I'm doing, or I'm explaining a process or my procedure or something along those lines. And when I'm on the live streams, that gives me a better chance to interact with you guys directly. Yes.
Did you open the bag yet?
What bag?
The bag you got.
Yes, I did.
What was in it?
There were some chips. There was a chocolate covered scorpion. Give me 1 second, guys. I went and ordered. There's a candy store where I am, and they sell mystery bags. So there was a soda in there. The soda is in the refrigerator. It was a Shirley Temple soda. There was some, like, jawbreakers. You want one? There were some jawbreakers. There was a chocolate-covered scorpion. But if you want to, a bag of chips. And there was, like, 1 or 2 other things. But it's on the side of the TV if you want to go look at it. Sorry. Victor says, when vacationing, you always bring your stoppers and goers. Yes, indeed. I completely understand that, Victor. As I get older, you definitely put those in the toiletry bag. Definitely. Sean Sparks says, professional question. I've been cooking brisket for a couple of food trucks and caterers. I do it at cost right now because I enjoy the feeling. If I choose to make it business, how should I charge? You charge accordingly, but you give them a little bit. Well, I want to say, because they are getting over on you, dog. Like, for real. If you are cooking briskets for people who are putting briskets on a food truck and passing it off as their own, first and foremost, that's I won't say intellectual property theft, but I mean that's some stuff. And here's the thing, right? You are providing these people effortless brisket, and brisket is not effortless. You need to charge what you're worth. Excuse me, but the problem is this. You already set a precedent that you will give them the brisket at cost. So if you don't mind me asking, what is the cost of your brisket? Are you charging like $60, $70 for a brisket? Because ain't no way. No way. Jeremy says, meet you, brother. I love the lives, I love the live streams. No, all right. Well, Jeremy, man, you had me thinking like I was disingenuous or something, man. You know, doing the live streams. I do have, Seriously, I don't care what I have going on in my life. I swear to you guys, I look forward to doing the live streams more than you will ever know, more than I will ever be able to convey in words. I could be having the shittiest day ever, the shittiest week ever. And I'm like, you know what? Tonight is Wednesday. I get to drink, drink a couple beers or drink some clear and hang out with my friends, okay? My family, my barbecue family. Seriously, some of you guys have become family. And, I really do, aside from the aspect of making this a open two-way conversation, I do have fun. Dude, we have so many inside jokes and, just over the years, this live stream has just kind of developed into its own thing. And I swear, you guys have memories of elephants, because I be forgetting stuff, and y'all don't forget a thing. A thing. Victor says, I believe Dash's lives were so important during the pandemic. You folks were my primary people during that time. So important, yes. Chachi says, know your worth. This is one time I'm going to actually, I won't say congratulate, but pat Chachi on the back, because, look, it's so funny. I feel like a proud parent right now. He does actually listen to what I say. Jeremy says, makes sense. You seem real and not out of touch. Because I am, man. I'm telling you. Those of you guys who have talked to me on the phone outside of YouTube, those of you guys who have met me in person, those of you guys who know me, I am the same person on YouTube as I am in person. I will tell you, like I tell everybody else, the only difference between me on here and in person, I curse a lot more in person. I know that my kids and other folks could be watching these videos, so I tone it down. I turn it off. I try to act as if I am talking to my kids when I'm doing these videos. Now on the live streams, especially once we get into the second hour, and usually I'm 2 or 3 or 14 sheets to the wind. Oh shit! All bets are off. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Chachi says, know your worth, because he loves talking to me. I thought he said telling me. The little dot was covering it. I thought you were saying I love telling you. Jeremy says, I look forward to them. That's what's up. Sean says, if I pay $75, I charge $100. That's not enough, man. You have to at least double what you are paying. The standard rate is going to be triple what you are paying. So, and oh my gosh, man, it's one of those things where it's really hard, right? And every situation is different, which is this is why I like talking to you guys, because I can only apply it to my business model and how I've run my business, but how I've run my business is not the same and or not the way you can run or you are running your business. So if you say, all right, you know what? Listen, I know I've been giving you these briskets for $100. Unfortunately, due to, let's say rising meat costs or the fact that I'm giving them away to you, you need to say, after this date, the price goes up to this. And because what's going to happen is this. There's going to be two things that are happening. Either people are going to be like, all right, you know what? They're going to know your worth, understand your worth, and they're going to pay you for what you are worth. Or they're going to say, all right, you know what? I no longer need brisket from you. And then those people who are going to pay you for what you are due, they're going to pay you not only in spades, but because you are dealing with those people who can pay you and are willing to pay you, you'll give them more product, because those people who didn't want to pay you are not going to be getting it anymore, which means that they will benefit from the people who were taking advantage of you by getting more brisket and being able to sell more. And because you are charging them more, they are incentivized to charge more themselves and make more profit off of it. And if you're giving them more and they're profiting more, do you understand where this snowball is rolling? It's going to, it'll take care of itself. I'm telling you. Jeremy says it's just like going to the bar without going to the bar. Yes, Jeremy. Except I'm going to the bar, dog. I'm not flirting with anybody or getting hit on, though. Victor says, at cost, wash your mouth out with that talk. always make a good profit. That's it. Jack says, you mean like sleeping? We were late for that live that live feed, but I made Betty get out of the shower for that one. Live streams rule. Nice. Yes. Damn it, Jack. He did see it. You know, Jack has been here for a long time, and I will always be grateful to Jack and Betty, his wife. They were on the first time I opened up and I gave you guys. I did a joint stream where I talked to you guys live. They were on the stream, and I will never forget it. Never, ever forget it. They were on the stream, and they're like, "Hey, Dash, we have to go." I'm like, "Oh man, what's going on, Jack Betty? You know, I really enjoy like putting the faces to a name and everything like that." And they're like, "Well, we just got a tornado warning, so we kind of have to seek shelter." And I'm like, "What? Get off this live stream! What the hell?" So it was a couple weeks before I saw them on the live stream again, and they told me that everything was all right. And that's one of those moments I'll never forget. So I can't say thank you guys enough for hanging out. Seriously. Chachi says, I'm always looking forward to Wednesday night for the live stream. Still waiting to meet this guy. Well, Chachi, you know, you keep talking so much smack about my Eagles and my Phillies. We gonna OK corral. We gonna meet. Yep, we gonna see who's the faster draw. Sean says, thank you. That's what I needed to know. Yeah, man. Victor says, if you think you can't raise your price per brisket, start making them smaller briskets. Damn. Treat them like those product companies treat us. Yo, I mean, is it me? Okay, because here is a fantastic example. I know that sodas, let's say a Coke, right? A Coke bottle. And I'm not picking on Coke, but I just so happened to have seen this on Coke the other day, and I was like, yo, why is this smaller? I used to get a personal size Coke. That personal size Coke, you know, the plastic bottle was how many ounces? How many ounces was that personal bottle? I want some crowd participation. Blind man says this live is part of my weekly routine. Sure enough. Mine too, Dave. Mine too. Jack says tornado sucks. Yes, indeed. Jack, sometimes they blow. Chachi says, first of all, I never said anything about the Eagles. Second of all, go Phillies. Yeah. All right. Well, you're right. You made nice by saying go Phillies. Yes. All right. I'll take that. Anyway, you know why you never talk smack about the Eagles? Because the Eagles, they did better than the Texans did last year. I understand. So, I'm glad you get me, Chachi. You get me. Look, I might have to change this venue to inside because can you see I'm sweating? I am sweating. It is hot. And I'm sitting directly underneath a fan. I am schwitzing. All right, so how big or how many ounces come in those personal size soda bottles? Not a can, but the soda bottle, the smaller soda bottles. Victor says, great example of downsized products is getting harder to find Kingsford in the 20-pound bags. That's a fantastic one. Chachi says, yeah, I won't talk about them either because both our teams suck. Yeah. Oh, I'm about to say the Oilers. Anyway. There's the Rockets, Houston Rockets. They're in Houston, right? And then the Texans, they're in Houston. But no, serious question. You know, Victor's talking about downsizing. Yes, those 20-pound bags of charcoal are no longer 20-pound bags of charcoal. Used to get 2 20-pound bags of charcoal for under $20. Now you get a 16 and 16.4 pounds or something like that. And let's see if it does stick. You get like a 16 pound or 18 pound bag for the same price, if not more, than a 20-pound bag. Yo, I remember. Jack says, go sit in the white chair. How dare you? No, sir. There will not be a record of me sitting in those chairs, Jack. Not at all. Okay, listen, I'm a smart man, and if I know if you knew what I knew, I'm not sitting on those chairs. Mm-mm. It's like when Debo here, I'll be quiet. When he leave, I be talking again because no sir, you trying to get me hurt. Mm, mm-mm, no way. Jack, you funny. I hope you laughing over there, Jack. Like, I hope you are cracking up, Jack. Like, seriously. You can fit about a ton of those bottles. A ton of those bottle caps. Nope, I'm not. Marlon, what up? He says, wow, Motel 6 become really fancy. Yeah, it's a background. Don't tell anyone, okay? It's not real. It's a imposed superimposed background, Marlon. So thank you, Marlon, for joining us. I really appreciate you being here. Jimmy, Marlon. These are the jokes I look forward to, man. Cause it's like, all right, after 10, look, Chachi's like Marlon. Oh, and you know what? I'm sure, Marlon. No, Marlon. No one's ever done that to you before. Ever been like Marlon. I'm sure when that movie came out, it was it probably got on your nerves. I'm sure. Jack says Betty told me to behave. Nope, not going to do it. I wouldn't ask you to do anything less, Jack. I wouldn't expect anything less. Like seriously. So here's something funny, right? So my manager at work, right? I do have a day job. So my manager at work, he's one of my best friends, and we've been working together for like 15 plus years. So, well, anyway, uh, he called me the other day because he was having a mechanical issue problem. His daughter's boyfriend was helping him install a trailer hitch on his vehicle, right? And he called me and he's like, hey man, what do you think the torque spec should be on this trailer hitch? And I'm like, man, I'm like 100, 120 pounds should be good. But then, just retorque it after a while and, kind of go from there. He's like, I said, are you underneath the car right now, underneath the back of the car? And he's like, no. He's like, his daughter's boyfriend, his name is Marco. And I'm like, Polo. He's like, there you go. This is why we're friends. He said, because I wouldn't expect anything less. He said, no, he's never heard that before. And I'm like, what's his name again? He's like, Marco. I'm like, Polo. He's like, oh. So yes, Jack. I wouldn't expect anything less. All right, so downsizing, right? We were talking about downsizing. I was waiting for someone to comment, but the soda bottles, Coke bottles, they used to be 20 ounces. Somebody go find a 20-ounce Coke bottle now. Or maybe just the ones that I had, but they're 16.9 ounces now. Like 16.9. There are 3.1 ounces smaller than they used to be. 3.1 ounces over millions of bottles of Coca-Cola goes a long way in extending your bottom line, especially when your price doesn't change. So yes, Victor, that was a brilliant. I wouldn't even have thought to give him a smaller brisket. Like, all right, look, the charge for a whole brisket is $100. It's going up to, let's say it's $150, $160. And if they balk at that, you say, okay, I won't give you a whole brisket. Excuse me, I won't give you a whole brisket. I'll give you $100 worth of brisket. You figure out what that $100 is. For me, that $100 is 4 pounds of brisket. 4 pounds of brisket. That might not be enough. Chachi says 5 seconds on the Milwaukee and you'll be good. 5 seconds on the Milwaukee? What Milwaukee? Oh, maybe he's talking about this. I gotta go get another one. This is Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. I need to go get another one. I'll be right back, Chachi. I said you need to go to bed soon. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm talking to taste tester number 3. Josh says 5 Ugga Duggers. He doesn't have. Oh no, he does. I helped him get some DeWalt tools. 5 Ugga Duggers. I should have told him. But no, I so my friend was not as mechanically inclined as he is now. He was one of these folks that he literally had the means to pay people to do a lot of things. And then, like, we were talking about something one day, and he's like, oh, I got to do brakes on my vehicle, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? You got to do brakes? I'm like, yo, bring the car to my house. I'll do the brakes for you. Just bring me a case of beer. And that's how we started. So in the 15 years I've known him, he has gotten to the point where he started doing his own repairs on his vehicles, and not only his vehicles, his daughter's vehicles. He has 2 daughters and a son. His wife is like, you're not working on my car. You're not touching my stuff. Actually, I take that back, because we've worked on, he brought his wife's car up to my house, and he lives a good 45 minutes, almost an hour away from my house. And we left the wheel lock. We left the wheel lock on the lug. He drove all the way home, or she drove all the way home with it like that. And we were like, I don't know how that happened, but it was great. So Victor says, hold on, Dash. When I was a kid, Coke bottles were typically 16 ounces. Back in the 60s and early 70s, they started to make them bigger as time passed on to supersize them. Whoa. Jack says, I think you should sit in a chair and take a photo and send it back to the mother-in-law after you get home. Nope. Because this home, if I want this home to be my home, I'm not going to do that. No, sir, Jack. No, sir. I plays the long game. Jack, you trying to get me killed? Chachi said I could fit 10 of them up here. Here's 2. I look like what was the big red thing? Oh, in that movie, Hellboy. That's what I look like, Hellboy. When he had the horns, he had to keep shaving off. And I'm red too because of this light. Does your mother-in-law have a freezer with the good in it? There is a little bit of that here, but I want to conserve it. I need to save it. Yes, Victor, Hellboy. Thank you. There's a little bit here. The whole thing is, I want to be able to enjoy myself, and I want to be able to enjoy myself. So I brought some beer with me, or I bought beer, so that I can enjoy the clear. When we have a good old time sitting down and we drinking, I can enjoy that. Clifford, the big red dog. Yeah. Marlon said, remember everyone, group live chat next week. Oh crap, seriously? It is the second Tuesday of the month. Yeah, second Wednesday of the month. Dang. Marlon, I'm not sure if that's going to work because I will be just getting back off my trip, off the cruise. So I'm not sure if I will be doing a live stream next week. But you never know. I should be able to. But I will figure it out. And I won't be able to tell you guys probably. But I'll figure it out between now and then. Thank you, Marlon, for the reminder. I need to set up a reminder like on my phone or like on my calendar that says the second Wednesday of every month is going to be. Chachi says he'll be there if it goes on. All right. Is that a threat or a promise, Chachi? Because I don't know with you sometimes. Seriously, I don't know with you sometimes. Goodness gracious, it is so hot out here. I'm sitting under this fan, and this fan is helping a little, but man. All right, Chachi, it's a promise. I'll take it. Winging it says, as someone getting into the catering business and hopefully evolve into a food truck, I'm curious to know what you thought are some things you learned getting started that may be helpful. So winging it, first and foremost, you got to do a lot of that. In the beginning, I didn't tell anybody no. Once I got to the point where I got a little better and a little more established, if you will, I started telling people no. And it's okay to tell people no. But I won't say there's a time and a place, but you have to, and this goes back to our, seriously, about 15 minutes ago conversation, you need to know your worth. And if someone is taking advantage of you just to take advantage of you so that you can make $1 when you need to be making $5, don't do it. I understand the temptation is there in the beginning to do it, to get your name out there. But from what I have learned and what I've experienced, my professional, and I'm by no means a professional, but my experience has led me to to know that there are some people you need to tell no. Like that is one of the lessons I had to learn. And it's hard because they're like, hey, we're going to pay you $2, but I need to charge $5. But we'll give you $2. And you're like, well, $2 is going to cover my costs. And, oh, but we'll give you exposure. This is the crux, okay? Because there are people that will or are willing to give you exposure, but those people that are or willing to give you exposure, they're not paying the bills. So the thing is, you do an event and you talk to the people who are there and you drop off business cards, you do the niceties and things like that, and you try to drum up the business for yourself. But back to what I was saying, know your worth and charge extra for it, okay? It's one of those things where in the beginning, you're going to tell everybody yes, because you're like, yes, another catering job. No, I didn't charge enough. Yes, another opportunity to prove myself and how good my food is. No, I didn't get enough money for this thing and that thing. And then the money starts coming out of your pocket. And then you can do those things, but you don't want to go down that road. That's a slippery slope. So you just have to kind of, figure it out and wing it, unfortunately. One of the other things, too, that I learned along the way, and I tell this to lots of people from time to time, is not everybody is going to like you and or the food you are cooking. Be prepared for that. If somebody doesn't like what you're doing, then screw them. There's people who will or people who do. Don't let one person who doesn't like what you're doing affect the other 99 people that might actually like what you're doing. And I'm sure the number is not 99 to 1. It could be 55 to 49. Yes, those numbers don't jive because they don't. But the whole thing is, if your food is good enough, There will always be people who like your food more than the people who don't. But with that being said, there are also those people who might have your food that one time and be like, yo, I'm never doing that again. And you have to accept it. And you have to get new clientele, or you have to get new business, drum it up. I told you guys earlier, I talked to you guys about a barbecue place in the area where I am, and I'm never going back there again. They got my business one time, and that was it. Victor said I thought it was the third Wednesday also. No, second Wednesday. Dave says, what's the deal with the chairs? Oh, so Dave, let me just explain this to Dave real quick. So Dave is visually impaired. So Dave, my mother-in-law has these two chairs that are right behind me. I'm sitting basically like book-ended, where these chairs that are inside of the house, they're inside of I guess it's like a living room. It's actually probably like a sitting room. Okay. So there are these chairs that are here, but they're like high back chairs, and they look mighty comfortable. But these chairs are the purest white ever. And you don't purchase chairs like this for them to be sat upon. They are purely for decoration. That's it, and that's all. So they're giving me grief because they want me to sit in these ultra super, they're not even plush chairs, but they're ultra white chairs. And I mean, even like as clean as I am with brand new clothes, I wouldn't sit on these chairs because no, they're just things that you don't do in your, I won't say your parents, but you know what I mean? You get it, like your parents' house. There's lines I don't cross. And this isn't even my parent, this is my wife's parent. So this is my mother-in-law. And in order for me to stay on her good side, which I am, I'm her favorite son-in-law. I'm also her only son-in-law. But I'm her favorite. I'm not going to do that. Just out of respect. All you do is order and eat. Yes, indeed, Chachi. Victor says, newsflash, is hot in Florida in August. More at 11 o'clock. Stay tuned. Victor, my eye is itching. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this. What's one of these bugs from the heat? Jumped up in my eye there. Grumpus, how you doing, man? Grumpus just snuck in, and he's like, Marlin. Dave says, I'll be there. Yeah. All right, perfect. Well, thanks, Dave. Victor says, a good customer doesn't argue your price. Folks who expect free or good deals are not good customers. Don't waste your time. Move on and find good customers. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Someone who is going to balk at your price is not worth you. Someone who asks you for a discount is not worth your business. Not worth your time. Because the whole thing is, there are, and that goes back to, and you might have missed this, that goes back to what I was talking about a little earlier when, so there's someone who is cooking briskets and he's giving them to different places, let's say food trucks and restaurants and things like that, at cost. And when I say at cost, he's taking a brisket for, and giving it to them for like $100. He said he might have a $75 brisket and he's charging $100. And I'm like, bro, you crazy. But the whole thing is, I told him to increase his price, right? Increase his price because it's like, listen, I'm gonna turn this into some sort of business, and in order for me to turn it into a business, I need to have profit, right, to cover my expenses and other things like that. Well, the whole thing is, if one of these people who is taking advantage of him really balks at the price of him raising the price to $150 or $160 for a brisket, which is still less than, let's say it's not half, but 2/3 of the price of a full price brisket, you don't want them as a customer. And how you make up for it is, if one person says, I'm not paying that amount of money, you were giving it to me for $100, I need them to still be $100, and the other person is like $150, $160, man, I would have given you $200 for this brisket. Okay? Not selling to this person and selling to this person that's easier to sell the food to and actually wants your food, they're going to get more food, more brisket, okay? They're going to sell more brisket and they're going to have more profit. And that profit is going to roll downhill. So that's just another, another thing that you have to kind of understand and realize. Grover says you know your worth. If they threaten to go elsewhere, let them. Your competition knows what they are worth too. Yep. And if it's below your worth, then there you go. Winging it says thank you for the advice. No problem. Like this is I don't say this is what we do, but this is what I'm here for, man. Like I know sometimes I can start talking cyclical and get sidetracked and other things like that, depending on how much I've had to drink. But I really do enjoy talking to you guys, and this is why I'm here on Wednesdays, at 9 p.m. Eastern, until usually about 11 p.m. Eastern. Victor says, follow the smuggler's motto. If it don't make you smile, don't do it. What? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's my that's my smuggler's motto. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Oh, well, or you could say if it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. But either way, you know what I mean. What? I don't know. Let you sit on the furniture. No, man. Shoot. Everybody know growing up, you had that piece of furniture in your grandmother's house probably that was like no off limits. You could not sit there. Just like, I'm sure some of you guys that are married for long times have a dining room set that is fully laid out that no one ever eats at. No one. It's just there for decoration. Deca and ration. Okay, I'm pointing to the two chairs. This is Deca, okay, over my right shoulder, and this is ration over here over my left shoulder. They for decoration. Victor says those chairs are like soaps that get shaped in the Fisher flowers. They are not to be used. Yes, indeed. Jack says these chairs remind me of the old movie called Sleeper. It starred Woody Allen. Anybody remember it? Before my time. Chachi says, let's go. Wasn't the first one that had to read between the lines today. Yes! Chachi, I was waiting for you to get that. Jeremy says, yo, what up? How you doing, Jeremy? Blind Man says, gotcha. Richard says, I think too many folks don't put into the price the fact that you need to grow your business. Growing your business includes getting new equipment for increased capacity. Yo, Victor, I wish someone would have told me that. And I'm pointing to the comment on the screen. I wish someone would have told me that a lot sooner. Now, my whole thing is, and we talked about it a little bit last week, when you write checks that your smoker's butt can't cash, right? I realized early on that I needed bigger smokers. I stumbled upon someone who was a smoker builder, and he built smokers, and because he and I were close, I was able to, I don't say reach out to him, but when he made a smoker that he was trying to get rid of or trying to sell, he reached out to me first. And I was like, yes, you know what? When I say I made my own economy and I figured out a way 3 different times to purchase smokers from him, there was a reason for it. Those smokers work, and they have made me lots of money. Winging it, says party rule. You don't sit inside, you sit outside until it's dinner time, then you may sit at the dinner table. Man, shoot. It's so funny. My mother-in-law's house that they had in Philadelphia, and her and my father-in-law, the house that they had in Philadelphia, had one of those dining room tables that was permanently set. And when we did actually go to use that dining room table when there was a big party at her house or their house, everything that was on the table was cleared off. You didn't use that china either. It was just out there for show. You ain't used none of that stuff, man. Victor says the Orgasmatron, wonderful movie. Okay, to clarify, the movie Sleeper, it had a device called the Orgasmatron. Everyone should see Sleeper. All right, well, I don't get it, but you know, you guys, sure. Mm-hmm. One thing I don't like about being out here, and in this heat, my beer is getting hot too fast. I'm not at home. I don't have any koozies or anything. Koozies to wrap my beer up to help it stay cooler longer. Oh, I saw lights going past. I thought it might have been flashing lights, but maybe it was just brake lights in the vehicle. Goodness. My day, well, I was up late last night watching TV. Because I'm like, I'm on vacation. I don't need to go to bed at any time. It was after midnight where I finally was like, all right, I need to go to bed. Well, my alarm goes off at 5:30 because I'm still working. Hojo, what's up? He says, good evening, Dash. Our dining room has been permanently set for 2+ years for some reason. We haven't eaten in it in years. Bruh. These chairs, I don't even know. I'm not even going to tempt fate. Like, should I? Nope, not even offering it. Chachi says, is it weird that when I cater, I always cook something for me to pick on when I'm done or in the middle of the cook? I guess he's saying, but I always end up not eating it because I don't want it to be the next day. Because I don't want it. But the next day, he's like, go ham on it. So, Chachi, you know what's crazy, right? It's not crazy. I get so hyper-focused on my cook that I usually don't eat at all. And it was crazy. There were a few times where I had on-site events or just big deliveries. And after not eating for, let's say, 12 to 18 hours, right? I'd be like, yo, I'm so hungry. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm like, oh, my God, and I would go do something silly like eat McDonald's. It's just weird like that. But I'm a big Wendy's fan. So, man, I'll go to Wendy's, I'll say in a heartbeat, but I'll go to Wendy's. But there were times, like, I remember vividly 2, maybe 3 occasions after catering events, like, and on-site catering events, right? On-site cooking events, where I didn't eat a hamburger, didn't eat a hot dog, nothing. No. I'm greasy and smelling like grill. The grill's still hot on the back of the car or the back of the car in the trailer, and I'm going to McDonald's. Like, what sense does that make? We all have our idiosyncrasies, dog. It is what it is. Grumpus says my aunt had a plastic cover on her sofa for so many years it turned yellow. Grumpus, all of those plastic covers turn yellow. When I was a kid, we had plastic sofa cushions or plastic covers on our sofa cushions too. But we actually got to sit on the plastic covers at my house. But, man, I know I had friends. Yo, don't sit on the plastic curtain. No, don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. Yo, you're going to get me in trouble if you sit on it. Yo, you want to come over here, right? Don't sit on that sofa. And the grandmothers and the parents, yo, they would know if you sat on that sofa. You don't sit on the sofa. Somebody tell you don't sit on the sofa, you don't sit on the sofa. That's it. That's it. You're not going to, and you know, kids are kids. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna sit on the sofa, go get me this or go do that, or I'm gonna sit on the sofa. You're trying to use it as blackmail material. Sometimes it work. Other times you're like, yo, sit on the sofa if you want. I'm not the one be the one that's gonna get in trouble. My grandmother gonna come talk to your mother, and you gonna be in trouble. Oh, why? Yo, you know what? I was just playing. Yo, I was just playing. I'm linked to the chat. You on vacation? If so, enjoy the time away. Yes, I am. I am at my mother-in-law's house for a couple days, and then I'm going on a cruise. So there's a few guys who are here in Florida that I usually reach out to while I'm here, but my car had troubles. I had troubles with my tire, and I was kind of a lame duck stuck in the house for 2.5 days. So I didn't have the opportunity to reach out to them and go visit. I usually make my rounds and visit folks while I'm down here, but wasn't in the cards. Hojo said, okay, so Chachi says I always love barbecue the following day, not the same day. See, I'm the opposite, Chachi, but then again, it depends on what it is that you're referring to. If it's brisket, yo, I need to eat that brisket like before it gets refrigerated, before it gets, chilled for that first time. Because I swear, like, not a half-life, but there's a point of diminishing, well, not even a point of diminishing return, but it's just not as good to me once I pack it up as a leftover. Like, but then again, a way around that, vacuum sealing it. Just don't let the air get to it for a long period of time. So vacuum sealing it works really well. And then, those like clamshell containers that they seal really well. It's like a hermetic seal. I think I said that right. Those will keep stuff fresh for a very long time. Yo, Hojo said my grandmother had her sofa covered in bubble wrap. I would always sweat when I sat on that baby, bad boy. Yes, indeed. You would sit down, and then you would go to get up, and it was like peeling a sticker. Every single time. I remember as a kid, my sofa, here's the thing though. They knew what they were doing. Because you buy a sofa, and the sofas back in the day, I won't say they didn't last, but they got dirty as hell, right? Put those plastic covers on there, and you protected the sofa. Man, I remember vividly as a kid when we took the sofa cushion, the covers off the sofa, because the vinyl covers had just gotten so tattered and they were falling apart from years and years of us sitting on the vinyl things. They weren't really meant to be sat upon. They were meant to be showed off and to preserve like a dial in a case or something. When we took those vinyl covers off that sofa and the love seat that was in my living room, it was like we had a brand new couch. The John still smelled brand new. It smelled brand new. That plastic kept the new couch smell in the couch for like 5 to 7 years before we took the cover off the couch, and it was fantastic. Fantastic. But man, yes. Jimmy says you have the ones with the bumps that made patterns on your face if you took a nap. No, it was the flat vinyl cover. Wayne had said we had a plastic walkaway mat that went from the back patio door through the living room carpet to the tile. Definitely had those runners. Okay, that's what they're called, a runner, the vinyl runner. My aunt had a vinyl runner in her. She still does, actually. Last time I was at her house, I believe the vinyl runner is still there. But the vinyl runner, like when the main path, it through the living room, best believe that runner was there. So she had carpet throughout her house. We had hardwood floors, so we never had a runner like that. But man, yes indeed, them runners, dude. And then the runner used to get caught underneath the door. Yo, you walk in the door and you open the door, and then the runner get caught in the door. Then you have to close the door or step on the door to get underneath the runner. Yes, I completely understand winging it. So Marlon said, man, back in the days, there are people that had rooms you didn't even walk into. Yes, Marlon. You know what? Marlon grew up down in the, well, I don't say down in the South, but in the South where, you know, just like you said, you had whole rooms you didn't even walk into. Mm-hmm. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100, $200. Dash, did you say fuck it and go and start jumping on those white chairs? Hell no, I didn't. Them electric tires special order. Yo, yes, Grumpus. So it's one of those things, right? So I took the car. On Monday morning, right? Monday morning. I took it, and everything that I saw said the dealership opened at 9. I made an appointment because I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to just show up and not have an appointment. I made an appointment. The appointment I had was for 2:30. So I go in there and it says, oh, the dealership opens at 9. So I get there at 8:45 and I'm like, yo, dealership kind of look kind of lively. The service department, I walk in and they're like, oh yeah, hey. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? The time on the door says y'all here at 7:30. He's like, we are. I said, why is everything online say y'all here at 9 o'clock? I would have been here at 7:30 to try to get this resolved as soon as possible. He's like, well, I don't know. So I leave him the vehicle and I say, hey, I have a puncture. I got a puncture on my way down to Florida. I just drove from Maryland, from Baltimore to Florida. And I got a puncture along the way. Tried to get it taken care of. The tires still not holding air. There's a plug in there. There's fix-a-flat in there. It's not holding air. I need a new tire. Can you, I brought it in here early so that you can go ahead and place the order for the tire. Hopefully have it by this afternoon. And I can get back on, on my merry way. Bro. My man was like, sure thing, not a problem. We'll get it in as soon as we can. He's like, well, do you have an appointment? I said, actually, yes, I do. Appointment's for 2:30. He's like, all right, well, unfortunately, we don't have anything available before then. He said, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. We're already behind schedule. I'm like, this doesn't bode well for me. I want to get my car back this afternoon. I said, hey, I would love to enjoy it. And I told him, I want to enjoy my vacation. I don't want to be down my vehicle. He's like, well, unfortunately, we have to do X, Y, Z. And, with that being said, as soon as that happens, we can try to order the tire. 2:30 comes and goes. I don't hear anything. Finally, I get a call at about 3 o'clock. And he says, hey, Mr. Harris, just want to let you know your tire has to be ordered. It won't be here until tomorrow at noon. Yo, I brought the vehicle in there first thing in the morning on purpose so that you could order that tire early this morning and have it there early this afternoon. He said, well, unfortunately, the way things go, even if I would have ordered it at that time, it wouldn't have gotten here until tomorrow because they were getting it from wherever they were getting it from. I'm like, yo, this is some fracking bull, but it is what it is. There have been this same tire has been replaced three times now. And one out of the 3 times I was able to get in and out in the same day. The first time I had an issue, actually no. The same tire there was a plug in it, then it was replaced, and now another puncture. It's a magnet. The car's a magnet for debris. Anyway, typically I have to wait a day to get it, to get the tire replaced because they don't carry the tires. They don't have the tires in stock at the dealerships. And I've been to 3 different dealerships with the tire or with this issue. And of the 3 dealerships that I've had this issue with this same tire or same wheel, okay, that's had different tires on it. Twice I've had to wait at least a day for the tire. One of the times, and I wasn't even driving the vehicle, my wife was. She was able to get it to a dealership. They were able to get the wheel or the tire ordered early enough where it got there by, like, let's say 1 o'clock that afternoon. They were able to get it fixed, and she was back on the road and got home. Victor says the perfect upholstery print if there are men and children in camouflage. Go ahead and eat food on them without worry because the stains won't show. No, sir. Enjoy your cruise. Early day tomorrow. Catch you next chat. Hey, Hojo. Thank you, sir. Travis. What up, man? Bruh. I was just talking about how I've been down here, but haven't been, no access to my vehicle. So I haven't reached out because, yeah. And I'm going on a cruise on Friday. Tomorrow, I have to go to Orlando and pick up my sister-in-law. So this whole trip has been kind of screwed. I had a puncture on the way down here, and it took 2 days for me to get my vehicle back. So, but we shall see. I'm gonna have to reach out to you. Travis has been here to this house, so he knows. Yo, you've never seen these before. These are new, and I can't sit in them. We've been talking about these things all night long. So, yes, Travis, I know. Trust me when I say I know. This was supposed to be quick trip, but it was a quick decision to come down here because the missus found a cruise literally 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, all right, on the way, but I was having troubles with the EV and the tire. So I'm like, I have to get that taken care of first before I can do any social stuff. I have a room the wife won't go into. We call it the kitchen. Oh, the grumpus, you're lucky she's not on here. Steven says, all this talk about back in the day, maybe remember you couldn't go into the fridge and take anything you want without asking for it properly. Nowadays, kids just clean out the fridge. Yo. Yes, indeed. So Chachi says, which tire was it? It was the driver's side rear. I've been having issues with tires on this vehicle the entire. Oh, actually, it's been this same specific wheel that I've had issues with. The first time I had a puncture, it was this wheel, but it was on the passenger side at the time. I got a new tire. I got the tire replaced. It took 2 days for that tire for it to get replaced. Got a new tire. Within about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I got another puncture. Okay, and when I got that other puncture, it was just after the tires had been rotated. So, when I got that puncture, the guy at the dealership was like, it couldn't have been the other tire. It had to be the tire we just replaced. I'm like, yes. So then they put a patch in it. Okay, so I'm like, all right, cool. Well, that patch didn't hold air, and that patch, and I swear I contributed to the fact that it's a big old heavy vehicle, and it just does a number on tires. But that patch didn't hold. And my wife she was driving a car to Richmond, and she ended up having the tread separate from the tire. Basically, it was a blowout almost, to the point where they replaced the tire again. So I've had the tire replaced twice, and it's been on the same wheel, replaced twice, patched from the dealership once, and then plugged once, right? Well, the plug didn't hold. And actually, what's crazy is I got it plugged the second time because the plug was leaking. Either the plug was leaking. No, the plug was leaking because I saw it blowing bubbles after I put Fix-A-Flat in it. And yo, what's up with Florida and charging? Well, it was like South Carolina, Georgia, maybe it's Georgia, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, charging $2 to use like an air machine. Like, Yo, $2 to use air? What? Actually, it was North Carolina because we were in Rocky Mount the first time the tire pressure light came on, and I had to drive around Rocky Mount a little bit in order to find a pump, and the one that I found, it was $2, and I was like, yo, that's another thing. They don't even tell you what the charge was. At least it didn't in North Carolina. They're like, use your credit card, get your air. I used a credit card. Then I'm like, what the hell is this $2 charge? Yo, it says North Carolina. Seriously, it costs $2 to get air? For real? I'm not used to that. Little known fact, in Baltimore, there's a statute from the 80s that says that gas stations have to give folks air for free. I'm not used to that. Plus, I have a compressor at home. I need air. I get air at home. I need air. I'll go to a Rofo or I'll go to a Wawa and I don't have to pay for it. Yo, talk about sticker shock for having to pay $2, and I have, when I say I have had to put air in that tire from the time we drove down here to the time I was able to get it to the dealership, I had to put air in that car half a dozen times at $2 a pop. And then I had to buy a Fix-A-Flat because even then it wasn't holding air. Travis, I know. Time to lower it and put wheels on it. So I have springs for it, Travis. Suspension stock wheels issue. I hear you. But here's the thing, Travis. I won't say there's no Wawas, but the Wawas are. There's no Wawas in North Carolina. There's no Wawas in South Carolina. There's no Wawas in Georgia. By the time I finally get to a point where there are Wawas again, I'm in Florida. And yeah. I did, one of the places I stopped, actually I stopped in Florence, South Carolina, and got air at the Sam's, and that was free. But still, on the trip down here, half a dozen times, if not more. So, yeah. So, Travis, let's set something up for maybe next Thursday. But the problem is this, I'm going to be gone, right? I leave on Friday. I'll be back Wednesday. When I come back Wednesday, I have something to do with the missus on Thursday because I actually have off. And then we might be turning around and headed back home on Friday. So I really can't stay out late on Thursday if I'm driving home on Friday, you know what I mean? So we will be in touch, or I will be in touch, because I can't come down here and not link up with you, but I didn't want to hit you up with my situation with not having a vehicle. So that's why I didn't say anything. That is some expensive air. Victor says the tire chain I go to here repairs all tires for free, provided the tire can be repaired. Yes, so that's the thing, Victor. Same, right? Usually, whenever I buy a tire, be it from, or I will get the tire through like Sam's, or I'll get the tire through Tire Rack, or I'll get the tires through, like this instance, I got the tires, not the tires through, but I got a road hazard warranty for the ID4 through Volkswagen when I purchased it. The problem was I was 250 miles, 300 miles away from the closest dealership because it was Sunday when I was traveling. So, yeah, can't really take it to a dealership on a Sunday. So I had to wait until Monday morning, which is when we got into Central Florida. So I took it first thing on Monday morning while I'm working, right? And it took 2 days. Like, I didn't get the car back until late yesterday. Today I had family stuff to do. So I'm glad I got my car back today. Discount tire has free air. Grumpus, it depends on where you are. There's not always discount tires. There are places that do I was about to say that do have free air, but in the middle of nowhere in North Carolina, that's not always the case. And South Carolina. And what's crazy is when I was in North Carolina, I stopped and I was in Rocky Mount. I stopped and got air. And then I'm trying to think when the next stop was, but it was somewhere possibly in South Carolina. I stopped and got air. Yep, it was in South Carolina. Got off the highway, got air, got back on the highway, kept on going. When I got to Florence, South Carolina, light came back on again. I'm like, yo, this is kind of crazy. I'm hoping I don't have to deal with this the entire trip. South Carolina had to put air in it. Georgia had to put air in it. Once we got to Florida, had to put air in it. I'm telling you, it was an ordeal. And each time I had to stop for air, it just added more time onto this trip. So yeah, it is what it is. Chachi says he's a manager there. What? Chachi probably would have charged me for air. Yeah. I know Chachi's type. Wait, Grumpus, you don't live. You live in Houston, Grumpus? Because Chachi's in Houston. Y'all need to go have a meetup. What size tires? They're staggered. So I think the rear is a 245 30 19 or don't give me the line. And I don't have it, but I know the rear is I think a 245 or 255, or the front is a 235. So it might be a 235. It might be a 235 40 21, and the front is like a 235 45 or 50 21. I know some EVs have skinnies on them. Yeah, this one doesn't have skinnies on it necessarily. The tires in the rear, are just a couple mils wider than the tires on the front. But by the time it's all said and done, they're same rolling diameter. So yeah, I think it's a 255 on the front and 235 or excuse me, 245, 255 on the rear, and a 235 on the front. I don't remember. Victor says there's no such thing as a free brisket, right? Maybe that applies to air. Just saying. Nah, man, there are plenty of places that give you free air, and the reason they give you free air is because they know you're going to come inside and you'll probably purchase something from the inside. You're like, oh man, I need air in my tire. Well, I'm going to get air in my tire while I go into the gas station or while I'm filling up. Or I'm going to get air in my tire while I'm going to get an energy drink or a cup of coffee or something. There's the case of while I'm here, I'm going to get air. And it's like, there was one station, it didn't even accept credit cards. This was in North Florida. It didn't even accept credit cards. I go to the pump and I'm like trying to figure out how to turn the thing on. And I'm like, what? And then I have to go inside, get a man cash, and get quarters, and then feed the quarters into the machine. I'm like, this is crazy. And then I saw one of the machines we went to. It said air 50 cents, credit card convenience fee $1.50. I'm like, what? That's ridiculous. Like, come on. They just gouging folks because they can. Travis says, don't you hate it when you have to pay for air? Yes, I do. In case you guys don't know, DYHIW was a thing I used to do way, way, way back when. When Travis and I first met each other, I was doing this thing on YouTube, and if you go back into the archives, you will see "Don't You Hate It When" videos. And yes, Travis, don't you hate it when you have to pay for air? Yes, Travis, I do. Chachi says rotating tires on a staggered doesn't do a single thing. Just a waste of time. They would rotate them left and right. And that was it. They don't rotate them front and back. But at the, I guess it was the 10,000 mile mark, they rotated the tires, or maybe it was 20,000, because I believe they've only rotated the tires once, so it's 20,000 they rotated them. Richard says truck stops always have free air, but of course you just put in $500 to $1,000 in your fuel tank. So fun fact, Victor, I went to a few truck stops and either the air wasn't working or I had to pay for air. Maybe I didn't go to the right truck stops. I mean, I don't know. Are you a Pilot guy or a Loves guy? But no, it depends on. I don't say it depends on where you are, whether the air is free or not. Because where I was, the air wasn't free. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I've been at this for 2 hours. I'm going to go get something to eat. And I need you guys to be merry. Thank you guys seriously for hanging out. Really do appreciate you hanging out. Travis, we will be in touch. You know, because I gotta see you. That's my roadie right there. Definitely. If not this week, then the next week, possibly next Thursday. I sure will, dude. Like I said, I everything was so up and in the air, dude. This whole trip was last minute, so it was not. You know, I won't say you know me, but I typically have a plan, and this plan went to shit. So, any Buc-ee stops on the way down? No, Grumpus, we didn't even stop at Buc-ee's. I was on a mission to try to hurry up and get to Florida. I was on a mission to try to hurry up and get here. I ain't even stop at Buc-ee's. We stopped in Florence where Buc-ee's is, but did not stop at Buc-ee's. Victor says, good night all. Where's the cruise to? We're going to the Dominican Republic and to Bimini in the Bahamas. So a couple day cruise and a 5-day cruise out of Miami. Jack says later, gang. Be safe, dash on the water. Yes, sir. Victor says, remember the trucks area is different than the car areas. Have a great vacation. Oh, Victor, I know. You know, I drove a diesel for a long time, and I went to truck stops seeking out DEF, the DEF, like DEF, the DEF. So there were times when I would go to truck stops specifically trying to get put DEF in my DEF tank, but it sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Not everywhere has DEF on the pump. They sell those 2.5 gallon containers. Jimmy says, night guys, have a great rest of the week. Have a great trip, Dash. Thank you. Steven says, night all, and see you when I see you. Enjoy your cruise, bro. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate you. Chachi says, later all, great night when those Quentin let's see. Later all, great night when those Quentin wasn't around though. Maybe even though. All right, there we go. He correct himself, even though, and still spelled it wrong. Damn it, Chachi. Grumpus says, good night, Dash and everybody. Victor says, hey, Dominican Republic, try some goat if you get the opportunity. Victor, I eat goat, I'm going to say all the time, but I love goat, man. And fun fact, we went to Dominican Republic on our honeymoon, and most people in the Dominican Republic thought I was Dominican. I do speak a little Spanish, and I haven't spoken any Spanish in quite a while, but I am on my 270th day on Duolingo, trying to better my Spanish. But yeah, muchas personas empezando, yo soy de Dominican Republic. No soy de Dominican Republic. I had a guy call me a liar when I was down there. He's like, you're from here? No, I'm not. He's like, your mother, she's from here. Nope, she's not. Your father then, he's from here. Nope, not him either. They're like, why do you know Spanish then? I'm like, I learned Spanish. And he's like, mentiroso. What? You call me a liar? What? Yeah. Chachi. Read between the lines, Chachi. You had to do that. You just couldn't let it go, Chachi. You just couldn't let it go. Yes. Hey, Motown Philly guy. Yeah, buddy. Yep. Hey, listen, I'm like, yo soy 100% moreno. And he's like, no. It was the same guy that I had the discussion about the cheese that my wife and I still laugh about almost 18 years later. ¿Qué tipo queso es eso? I was like, tipo queso? It's queso normal. Little Fish, what's going on, man? How you been? It's been a minute. Marcel, right? It's been a minute. Marlon said live group chat in 2 weeks. Well, no, it should be next week. I'm hoping it'll be next week. We gotta see. Night all. Yeah. Go Phillies. Marcel said, "Hey, Steven." Yes. I wish I could stay longer, but I gotta go. I gotta get to bed. I'm actually tired. And I still need to get something to eat. So yeah. Oh, says hi Dash. We've been super busy this summer. Man, you ain't got to explain nothing. Listen, I'm just glad you were able to pop in and say hi. Shout out to those of you guys who are rewatching. So if you are on the rewatch gang or a part of the rewatch gang, comment rewatch gang. I got to the end down below. Thank you guys so very much. And I'll see y'all next week. Hopefully next week. And hopefully we will be doing a group live stream next week. Man, I've been on a lot of cruises. I'm not thinking about no damn show after I just got off. I hear you. Oh man, don't apologize, Marcel, man. Marcel, it's quite all right. Take care and stay cool, everyone. Yes, indeed. All right, guys, thank you so very much again, as always, for hanging out. Really do appreciate you. If you have not hit that thumbs up on the way out, please take care of it. I'll see y'all when I see you. It might not be next week, and if it's not next week, y'all know why. Thanks again, and I'm gone.